But thank you for including my family.
Yeah.
This is a special event that we can come and learn and have a little bit of a social time as a family. That was special.
Yeah.
It was unique. You don't see this very often.
I think people don't realize that what you just mentioned, that some of these technologies were created in the 80s or developed just for quite some time. And it's been that underlying technology that we didn't even know that we've been interacting with.
GPS is used every day.
Yep.
Every day. Our phones can tell us where we are, anywhere we're at, anywhere right now. I have tractors that are driven with GPS. The guys turn the tractor, take their hands off, and they drive themselves.
Wow.
The blockchain, we've been using the blockchain in vegetables for years. You take the barcode off of a bag of salad, I can research back to the field and what chemicals and everything else, who grew it, who was out there, what labor contractor, all that information can be found off that barcode. And that's blockchain technology that we've been using for 20 years. But AI to me was artificial insemination that we did to cattle. That's what AI is. That was the greatest thing in the world. It was artificial insemination. So I hear this AI stuff. No, that's artificial intelligence.
So you get a little chuckle every time. Farmer humor.
Hey everyone, if you're enjoying the content and find value in what I'm sharing, I'd greatly appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support not only helps this channel grow, but ensures that you stay up to date on the latest and greatest content. Thanks for tuning in today and for spreading the word. Love you mucho.
Ladies and gentlemen, to my right is Tyson Stuhr, a cotton farmer out of Arizona. He's traveled all the way here to beautiful Southern California to break bread with many leaders from the Linqto community. We had a wonderful 2-day event at the Ritz-Carlton of Laguna Niguel. And I just want to say, Tyson, appreciate you. It's been a pleasure just getting to know you over the past couple of years.
This has been a pleasure. Thank you for including my family.
Yeah.
This is a special event that we can come and learn and have a little bit of a social time as a family. That was special.
Yeah.
It was unique. You don't see this very often.
No, you don't. And I always have this belief that things settle as they should, and good always prevails. But I feel like, and to that point is, this just naturally happened. And I was like, call it God, call it the universe. It's been a beautiful story.
Well, my whole relationship with Linqto is narrowed that down. I met you through a Zoom class you put on, and it was a nice presentation. You picked the phone up 45 minutes afterwards on the first ring. And I believe that was 2 years ago. And you were personable. You were very helpful. You answered all my questions, and it's just been that way on everything that Linqto does.
Oh,
I'm not trying to blow smoke up for that either. It's just and you answer the phone.
Yeah.
A lot of these type of organizations don't.
Yep.
Pick up the phone.
No, thankfully, Linqto is staffed with a wonderful world-class team, and Katie Tejada which I believe you got to spend some time with.
I visited with her yesterday. She's from Arizona, I believe.
If you don't mind, how did you come to know and find out about the Linqto community?
Actually, I took a class. I didn't understand crypto, so I wanted to understand it. I was trying to do some self digging into it, and I was getting frustrated. And I ran across a guy on TikTok, Coach JV.
Yep.
I enjoyed his platform. I enjoyed how he was in his face. Kept telling everybody to get their shit together. And that's abrupt, but he has a point to it. And I actually took his 120-day challenge. I took his class, learned a lot. You were one of the presenters there. Did a little more research, and no, that's how I'm here.
Yeah.
As a farmer, it's completely not what we get.
Yep.
An IPO or invest in something new is a brand new piece of equipment or the new variety of seed, or let's see, how can we save some water? Being able to do things that can help my family generational is important. And I think you guys are on something special.
Thank you for that, Tyson, knowing that you're not just any cotton farmer, sir. You are a gentleman that I believe applies that investment like thesis where you're looking out for into the future, and you apply some of that, even some of these new technologies to your own practice of farming. Would you be able to share with the audience some of those practices that you've already applied? Like, for instance, vertical farming?
We're trying something new in our family, correctly. So we're building a vertical farm outside of Phoenix on the west side. We're going to be able to produce 25,000 pounds of vegetables per day, and we will have a staff of 15 people. The facility will be saving 95% of the water we would use on a 2,500 acre farm. Reduce it down to an acre and a half indoors, all done with artificial lights. And we'll be able to harvest cilantro every 7 days. We'll be able to harvest a lettuce crop every 17 to 18 days. And that's just the start of it.
Is there a reason why you're picking lettuce and cilantro?
We picked cilantro because the number one condiment in the United States now, salsa.
Makes sense.
And cilantro is grown from up the road here in Oxnard, Hanford, all the way in Mexico, depending on, it has to be sourced from all over the place, depending on the season. And there's such a need for it. Chipotle goes through so much of it on a daily basis. And it's through all nationalities. Cilantro is, there's coriander and other cultures, but it's something that's used in so many dishes and flavor. And we were going after a monocrop. And the reason we chose cilantro is we can cut it every 7 days and we don't have to replant it. We can send the trays back through every 7 days up to 14 harvests.
Wow. So how much more is that with paired traditional versus vertical?
Traditional, I would plant a crop of cilantro and I'd harvest it 75 days later. And I do one harvest a year. Now we're harvesting every 7 days. So 365 divided by 7, we're looking at 23, 24.5 harvests a year.
Wow. And with one location, now you're able to cover even, I would say, a larger geography potentially, a larger market.
Large market, but I can go to a shipper, a wholesaler, Costco, Chipotle. I can give you a longer shelf life because when those trays come through and go through the harvester, the time it's harvested to the time it's bagged, it's less than 45 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And it'll be bagged, it'll be orientated in the right direction so you can process it. It'll all be straight. It's not just big old glob. It's not hand. And it's grown in a host-free environment, perfect, ideal conditions, no pesticides. Completely, it's beyond organic because it's not in soil and no one touches it. And the shelf life is about 3 to 4 times as longer because it's harvested so quickly, and then we're able to ship it that day.
This is the food tech future that I want to invest in.
I think it's so special because I can take the same farm and I find 2 acres and I can build the same thing in Dallas. I can build the same thing in Denver. I can build the same thing in St. Louis. And instead of having 10,000 trucks going up and down, we want to talk about reduce the carbon footprint. I can remove trucks all day long because now we're using box trucks locally and I can grow anything. I just have to build a farm where it's needed.
Wow. Kudos to you.
The unique thing about us is we've been farming in the same location outside of Phoenix since 1906.
Okay.
And traditional farming. And we're the first family that actually is a traditional farmer that's looking at a vertical farm.
What when you say traditional or a farming family, how does that compare to any other commercial farmer?
I'm not a commercial farm. I'm looking at some of the other vertical farms that are out there.
Okay.
Those are all done. It's like a .com startup. They're not farms. They're in the business of trying to find a niche, trying to put something up. We're actually trying to grow a crop.
Yeah.
We don't have a CEO, a CFO. We're not taking all these high-end, top-end, overhead salaries. We're taking our family and we're trying to diversify because the reason I brought this on is the city of Phoenix is building this little road called the 303 that's going right through the middle of our farm, which is awesome. They're paying for us, but we have 3 generations of people that have worked for us that we don't want to lay them off. So we're revamping on some of the other property we have and we're going high end, trying to be able to use the labor, use the tradition, the water, the power that we have. And we're just taking it inside, not because maybe we want to, but just trying to be more efficient with the resources we have.
Is there anything else that benefits you being a family style farm or being that you have owned your property for the past 100 years in the same location?
I think the benefit is that we're a farm, staying a farm, even though we're going inside. If we're used to working 24 hours a day, if you need to, we're used to managing a crop, we're used to harvesting. So it's going to be different because it's every day in the same location, but we want to stay in production. And
you're dipping your toe into this new and emerging world of technology, not just in your own practice, but also when in investments. I noticed that you were inquiring on Linqto portfolio companies during the conference, such as Ripple and others. Curious to know, you mentioned that there was a learning curve for you. What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome that maybe another farmer who's tuning in could benefit from through your journey?
That I'm taking a big leap into faith. And I think what sold me was VeChain. But when it goes back to crypto, and VeChain is working with Walmart to help as an inventory source, blew my mind.
I'm impressed that you know about VeChain. Yeah,
it's a rabbit hole I've gone down for the last couple of years, and I missed out on the .com area of investing. I thought that was crazy. I had a professor when I was in college that talked about this thing called wireless cable. You gotta get this wireless cable guy and this thing called satellite radio. Come on, guys, just put $100 in. Everybody's got $100. That was the most successful professor I had because he invested in this thing called DirecTV.
Wow.
3 years before it even came in. He kept talking. this wireless cable. I thought it was nuts.
Yeah.
It's not nuts anymore. GPS technology. I mean, our phones can tell us where we are, anywhere we're at, anywhere right now. I have tractors that are driven with GPS.
Really?
25 years ago? Oh, absolutely. The guys turn the tractor, take their hands off, they drive themselves.
Wow.
The blockchain, we've been using the blockchain in vegetables for years. You take the barcode off of a bag of salad, I can research back to the field and what chemicals and everything else, who grew it, who was out there, what labor contractor, all that information can be found off that barcode. And that's blockchain technology that we've been using for 20 years, but I didn't know it was blockchain.
See, I think people don't realize that what you just mentioned, that some of these technologies were created in the 80s or developed just for quite some time. And it's been that underlying technology that we didn't even know that we've been interacting with.
GPS is used every day.
Yep.
Every day. And unfortunately, it's almost too much because kids can't find directions anymore. But I can only imagine what cryptocurrency is going to be used the next 25 years. What we've done with GPS the last 25.
What do you think the future of blockchain does look like in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know, but I know what I don't know, and I'm trying to learn about it. How about that?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's what we're all trying to do together.
The two gentlemen that just left, two young men,
Andre and Trevor. Those are two early employees at iTrust Capital.
iTrust Capital. And I visited with him. I wish he built the platform for iTrust.
Yes.
Don't know what that means, but I have some research to do. And it's
about building the platform
or what he actually did.
Okay.
I want to know what he physically did to make that work. But the fact that he's going to work on a project for Stellar, which is XLM, tonight, he's got to go do something with that. That's intriguing. And I want to know more about him, but I need to educate myself a little bit more to have that conversation.
Yeah. No, I think if just by picking their brain, those are two wonderful guys that I've been fortunate to spend quality time with and explore some really interesting synergies.
If you don't learn something new every day, it's a bad day. Okay? And the only thing I've learned in my 51 years on this planet is I know what I've done. And it's fun trying to learn new things. Even though I'm older, it's fascinating. The conversations I've had the last 24 hours, some of the research I can do.
Question. Knowing what you know today, knowing what you don't know, what would you tell the younger Tyson who's he's 10 years into his career on the farm, so he's got his feet wet, but he's still got so much to learn. What would you tell that young man?
I wouldn't change anything because he was able to do what he wanted to do. I love what I do. But I was chasing 10,000 acres and I wanted to farm 10,000 acres. I chase more profits. I probably would have. Because farming, I take a huge risk. Everyone said, oh, Linqto is risen. I put seed in the ground. I hope it's not going to rain, destroy it, bugs, this and that. This is no riskier than putting seed in the ground.
So what are your thoughts on the accredited investment requirements that are keeping people out from getting into this asset class?
Well, okay. And so you have to have something to strive. You can't dumb it down for everybody. My wife's a school teacher, and there's certain requirements that we all have to do. And it's your goals. That's not a problem. I'm not saying that I think there's levels and things that there's a goal. And as soon as you told me what they were, I was trying to figure it out. My daughter asked me, when and how can I do this? I said, you have to do this, and this. So
you're already teaching your daughters how to get in the space. Good for you.
That's your company's preference. But I liked what Jimmy had to say yesterday, that with his tokenizing products, he gave an example. He showed that he can make that available to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
That was fascinating.
These networks have a global presence, and I think the toughest part for those that are building these networks is navigating the bureaucracies and the regulations of those jurisdictions.
To go back to your question regarding the qualifications and the investor, I'm blessed to have my wife. We've been married for 29, it'll be 30 years this year in December. And I have 3 wonderful kids, and I'm just so blessed. But we always, as farmers and grow some produce, we always have to remember the trends that each household has. Starts with the homemaker and the one that does most of the shopping, things like that. The fact that you guys made it available to a family activity that everyone can buy and be excited to be a part of it. That's how Linqto gives a power to a small family to be part of something big. Is what I'm saying. And Linda talked about that yesterday.
We're always learning, especially in this evolving landscape. And we heard even, I believe it was Joe mentioned to another investment banker that was in the room stating how the target's always moving. The investment arena is fluid. So just, you're always having to have your thumb on the pulse on various sectors, various technologies, various people.
I understand what you say, that Linda, what you said yesterday, everything's a cycle,
Yes, exactly.
but it's what it's cycling around. And the cycles are getting smaller. What they talked about the combustion engine yesterday, when the time it was taken and produced and used, the time it was truly accepted was 30 years.
Wow.
And so now with every new technology, it goes faster and faster. And I don't remember who said it. Was that Jimmy?
That was Joe.
Joe said that
Yeah,
yesterday.
Linqto CEO.
Yeah. And that was fascinating because he says AI should take effect in the next 3 to 5 years.
Wow.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
And AI is everywhere.
It is already. Yeah.
But
When you get-
AI to me was artificial insemination that we did to cattle. That's what AI is. That was the greatest thing in the world. It was artificial insemination. So I hear this AI stuff. No, that's artificial
You must-
intelligence.
So you get a little chuckle every time.
Yeah, I get a big- so the original AI is not that.
Oh,
It's-
man.
I don't know.
Farmer humor. Tyson, is there anything, last final comments that you'd like to share with the audience?
No, I just again, thanks for having us. Thanks for giving me the special. I'm
Absolutely.
part of the Rafe. The Rafe
Went
group.
to Strive.
Yeah, that's right. So it's special. So
Thank you
all
very
right.
much.
Thank
Hey, appreciate it, Tyson.
All right.
Safe travels home, sir.
Absolutely.